Good.
Yeah.
When we started the meetups here, one of the things that we've continued to wrestle with has been it's funny so before I did any of this stuff, I'm a pastor. I worked in church planting, which is starting new churches, recruiting church planters. You always notice when you start a church, the church planter or the pastor of that new church, the church reflects that pastor, the strengths and the weaknesses. And when we started a meetup here, some of the people had been watching my videos, and so we spend a lot of time doing the kind of conversation that I do on my sort of monologue videos or commentary videos. But a number came into the group and said, I'd really love this group to be a place that we can work on ourselves in this context. And I see that need. And of course, groups have been helpful for many people for that kind of thing, 12-step groups, all sorts of different groups, because we really do facilitate and process in community. I think that's really the only way we can actually achieve permanent growth often. And so that's one of the things in our meetup we haven't really worked out in terms of how, because the group very much got started more with the commentary, monologue, theoretical, intellectual conversation I do in my stuff, and we really haven't done well with, okay, how are you doing this week? What do you need encouragement on? Where do you need to be checked or held account? What do you need to be held accountable to? That's, in my experience as a pastor, there needs to be a pretty strong relationship already established for those kinds of difficult conversations to really be stable and productive over a long term.
Sustainability.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so fast. It seems like something is just happening though. You know what I mean? Like the fact that we're doing this audience guest thing and Nolan has been on, is that what's happening here? Is that community taking shape, do you think?
It's a totally new thing because this medium is new. And I do think what we're doing is really at the heart of what YouTube could be, where even though, yes, we do have personas, it is an artificial environment. It has many of the weaknesses that other social media platforms have. People need to talk, and especially for someone like Nolan, who obviously has limitations in terms of getting out and being with people, it makes perfect sense. So one of the things and I completely backed into this as on my channel, I mean, my whole channel was backing into in many ways. I never planned any of this, but I started having people began approaching me, writing me emails, wanting to talk, and I was doing a number of these things just offline. And these conversations I thought were they were so good, and I thought so many other people could benefit from that. I began asking people, can we record these? Can we share these? And then that would gain momentum. And I could see in the comment section that some semblance of community was forming. And I found that with the conversational aspect, that heightened it, because obviously to see someone's face and to hear them speak gives you a much higher resolution view of the person. So I backed into it, but it's been wonderful.